What's up, Laker fans? The Lakers have traded D'Angelo Russell, Maxwell Lewis, and 3 second-round picks to the Brooklyn Nets for Dorian Finney-Smith and Shake Milton. In this video, we take a closer look at how DFS fits into the Lakers' defense. DFS is a valuable defensive player because of his versatility. I don't think you could zoom in on any one aspect of his defense and say that he's amongst the league's elite players at it, but his consistent competitiveness and ability to do a bunch of different jobs contributes a lot toward building out a good team defense. As a one-on-one defender, DFS is at his best when he's guarding bigger players who can handle the ball, the 6'8 to 6'10 guys like Boncaro and Tatum, who are used to bullying their defenders off the dribble. But DFS is a tough guy to bully and is much more resistant to their physical attacks than a lot of other defenders are. A player like Franz Wagner isn't as physically punishing as those types, but he's used to easily going over the top of a lot of his defenders, and that's also a lot harder against DFS. I've liked his possessions on KD as well. If the opponent is tall but not exceptionally quick, there's a good chance that DFS can bother them a bit as an on-ball defender. But if a player has a certain level of guard skills, they can attack him in open space. Take Luka, for example. He's the type of 6'8 ball handler who DFS can normally hang with, but he has a level of guard skills that allow him to make quick work of DFS. Guards who are more dynamic often choose him as the player they want to get switched out onto them. If he presses up too much, they'll go by him. So that causes him to sag off a half step, but then that makes him vulnerable to those same players lining him up for a pull-up 3, which is a little more open because he's playing that extra step off of them. But I don't want to act like he's terrible at this. He'll win some of these possessions, including against All-Stars, and even spend a couple of games as the primary matchup on Donovan Mitchell. Off of the ball, he's a reliable team defender who will make the simple but correct rotations, but he'll also make spontaneous reads when he sees the opportunity to make a play. And he closes out to the three-point line with a great deal of urgency, which goes a long way when you have a nearly 7-foot wingspan. But it takes him a beat to gather himself and get his momentum going in that direction before he really speeds up, so he can be a little bit late on his closeouts even while giving his best effort. It may not be the first role that comes to mind when you think of his game, but I think DFS is going to play a decent amount of small ball 5 for the Lakers. In the absence of Jackson Hayes and Christian Wood, JJ Redick has increasingly gone to smaller groups that don't feature a conventional center. Those lineups have played well in recent games against Sacramento, and then again for a longer stretch in a Christmas win against Golden State, but got demolished by a significantly more physical and athletic Detroit team. This is the exact role that DFS played a lot for Brooklyn this year. If Redick wants to go this route of playing small in the non-AD groups, DFS will help them match up against those more physical teams. If you're gonna play small, you need some dogs on the wing who scrap and play with physicality if you want to win those minutes, and that's who DFS is. These types of units usually switch a lot, and when that's happening, your job is often changing from moment to moment. That's another area where DFS excels. On this play, he picks up Scotty Barnes full court before closing out to the shooter and sliding his feet, contesting well at the rim. Here he starts as the on-ball defender on Tatum, switches onto a pick-and-pop big in Horford, and then drops down to help on the boards. He reliably does his job even when that job quickly changes within the same play, with fewer mental lapses than many other players have. But of course his ability to play the 5 spot comes with limitations. He really battles players for post position and won't back down from a fight. But if he gets caught behind legitimate big men in the post, the size differential is just too much, and they'll usually score pretty easily. He can play a little bit of drop coverage in the pick and roll in the sense that he'll be in the correct position and he'll do his job, so if the offense makes the wrong read, he can be disruptive. But he isn't a great leaper or much of a deterrent at the rim, resulting in mostly easy looks for his opponents when he's in a drop. So it's not something you can do a ton with him, but he will execute the coverage correctly to the best of his abilities. He's also a below-average rebounder, which hurts you when you're in small groups, and will likely be more useful as a box-out guy. But he has a lot of utility as a small ball 5 because he can guard a bit on the perimeter, can wrestle with bigs down low, and do several of the jobs in between, all while having a great deal of concentration on what needs to be done at any moment. Small ball isn't my preferred style of play in the non-AD minutes, but Redick has shown an inclination toward it recently, and DFS would help the Lakers be considerably better at playing that style of basketball. His defensive role in the minutes alongside AD would be a lot more conventional, and I'm excited about the potential there. There are a lot of defensive situations where if you can just hold your ground as a defender and do your job, AD will take care of the rest, and I expect that he and DFS should combine to make a number of defensive plays in tandem with each other. Here he's guarding Banchero, and Orlando tries to set a cross screen on him before battling Paolo for position. They throw the pass over the top, and DFS continues with excellent back pressure as Claxton rotates over, creating a Paolo sandwich. It's very easy to imagine AD in the Claxton role here and how oppressive that could be. DFS will begin his Lakers career off of the bench, but I wouldn't be surprised if he closes at the 3 spot fairly regularly, on nights where they need more perimeter defense than Rui can provide. But while he can hold his own in a variety of situations, there comes a point where he can't quite hang with the top-end talent, and that's who will be waiting for the Lakers in the playoffs. Despite that, his physicality, versatility, and reliability should make him a valuable contributor on a Lakers team that's taken a clear turn toward the defensive end. The Laker Film Room is dedicated to helping you experience the Lakers and the game of basketball on a deeper level. If you'd like to support the work I do, you can do so at the Patreon link below, by sending me a few bucks on Buy Me a Coffee, or by just liking this video and subscribing to the channel. Alright, that'll do it for this one. I'll catch you guys next time.